so let's start our today's session. Today we discuss the new topic, Laplace transform. Okay, and it is most important topic for GTU exam, internal exam, as well as your higher study also. Okay, so let's start Laplace transform. First, introduction of Laplace transforms. Why we need to learn this unit? The reason is strongly motivated by the real engineering problems. There typically we encounter models for the dynamic of phenomena which depends on rates of change of functions. Example, velocity, acceleration of particles or points on bodies, which promote the use of ordinary differential equations. We can use ordinary calculus to solve ordinary differential equations, which we learned in our previous unit, provided that the functions are nicely behaved, which means continuous and with continuous derivatives. Unfortunately, there is much interest in engineering dynamical problems involving function that input step change or spike impulses. Two system playing pool is one example. Now, there is an easy way to smooth out the discontinuity in the function of time. Simply take an average value or overall time. But an ordinary average will replace the function by constant. So we use a kind of moving average, which takes the continuous average over all possible intervals of t. This very neatly deals with the discontinuities by encoding them as a smooth function of interval length s. Students, the amazing thing about the Laplace transform is that we convert a whole ordinary differential equation initial value problem into a Laplace transform version as a function of s. See, I know it is difficult to understand you, but try to understand when your given real world problem is continuous or with continuous derivatives, then it is easy to solve by the ordinary calculus. But when your given engineering problem is discontinuous, okay, at that time we convert our ordinary differential equation into the Laplace transform form. Okay, so let's start the definition. Here, definition of Laplace transform, that is, if f of t is a function of t, this f of t is a function of t defined for all t greater than or equal to 0, then if f of t is a function of t defined for all t greater than or equal to 0, then integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st ft dt is defined as Laplace transform of f of t and is denoted by L of f of t or f of s, or this one is f bar s. Okay, so there are three ways to denote Laplace transform. One is L of f of t, other is f of s, capital F of s, and this one is f bar s. So this is the main formula of Laplace transform. If we apply Laplace of any function of t, this f of t is a function of t. If we apply Laplace on that, then the formula is integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt. The sufficient condition is our function must be piecewise continuous function. Okay. And the other thing is f of t is a exponential order of alpha. there exists m and alpha such that mod of f of t is less than or equal to m e raised to alpha t. What does it mean? It means limit t tends to infinity, then e raised to minus st f of t is equal to finite quantity, is equal to finite quantity. Okay. Remark, Laplace of tan t does not exist as it is not piecewise continuous. So what is the main condition? Our function should be piecewise continuous. And the other, Laplace of e t square does not exist as it is not of any exponential order. Or we can say that it is not a, if we find the limit t tends to infinity, it is infinite quantity. That's why we cannot exist the Laplace of tan t or Laplace of e raised to t square. Students, in our syllabus, you have given always piecewise continuous function and the function who satisfies the second condition also. So you may not worry about that we can apply or not. You have to apply Laplace transform, whatever function you have given. One announcement for all of you. Listen carefully, everyone. See, students, now in every lecture, there are two stages. Our first lecture of 30 minutes, then we'll left the lecture and again we connect, and the second part is 20 minutes. Who is joined the two lecture, then and only then your attendance will be count. Okay? Listen carefully, students. After first 30 minutes, we left our first session and then we'll join for the other 20 minutes. So our lecture is total 50 minutes. And who is connect or who is joined both lecture continuously, then and only then your attendance will be considered. Otherwise, you will be considered as absent. Okay? So it is compulsory to you have to join the second part or second session also. Okay, so this is the definition. Now, let's start. See, this one is the formula. And here we have to prove the formula. The main definition is that this one. This is our main definition, right? Then we want to prove this is our main definition. Now we want to prove the Laplace of, we want to prove that Laplace of f of t, f of 1, f of t is 1. So in the place of f of t, if I put 1, so I want to prove that Laplace of 1 is equal to 1 by s. Okay, you have to remember this because it is the most useful in the example. So Laplace of 1 is 1 by s, but we want to prove that. So our given function is f of t is equal to 1. This is our main formula. What is our main formula? You have to remember Laplace of f of t is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st ft dt. Okay. So in the place of f of t, if I replace 1, so in the right hand side, also f of t is replaced by 1. So there is only 0 to infinity e raised to minus st dt. Now the integration of e raised to minus st with respect to t, students. So e raised to minus st upon multiple of t is minus s. So integration of e raised to minus st with respect to t is e raised to minus st upon minus s. And the limits are 0 to infinity. Okay, so if I substitute my limit, upper limit first, that is e raised to, here I have to substitute my limit in the place of t because we have done our integration with respect to t, right? So e raised to minus s into infinity. So e raised to minus infinity upon minus s. minus e raised to minus 0 into infinity upon s minus s. Okay, got it? Now e raised to minus infinity is always 0. This one is always 0. So what is this? 0 minus e raised to minus 0 is 1. So 0 minus 1 upon minus s. So this minus minus is plus and our final answer is 1 by s. Got it, everyone? So this is our first formula. Laplace of 1 is 1 by s. I think everyone remind this formula, right? Any doubt about this first formula? See, students, in this chapter, every topic is connected with each other. Okay, so this is the basic, but without doing this, you cannot solve any further topic. So please don't skip any topic. Second formula, students. Here, f of t is equal to e raised to minus at. Now, f of t is equal to e raised to minus at, and as our original formula of Laplace, that is Laplace of f of t is equal to e raised integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st ft dt. Okay, so if I replace this function of t by this e raised to minus at, then 0 to infinity e raised to minus at, and in the place of f of t, I put here e raised to minus at. Okay, so base same. So we get the addition of the power. So e raised to 0 to infinity okay, e raised to minus st minus at dt. So if I get minus common, then here I have in the bracket s plus at dt. So we want the integration of this e raised to minus s plus a into t dt with respect to t, and that is e raised to minus s plus a into t upon minus s plus a, and the limits are 0 to infinity. So again, if I put my upper limit, that is e raised to minus infinity upon minus s plus a minus e raised to minus 0 upon minus s plus a, right? And as you all know, e raised to minus infinity is what? That is 0. So 0 minus, and e raised to minus 0 is 1 upon minus s plus a. So what is our final answer? That is 1 upon s plus a. So Laplace of, see, this is our function, just function f of t. But if I apply Laplace of on both the side, then Laplace of e raised to minus at is equal to 1 upon s plus a. This is our another formula, students. 1 upon s plus a. Similarly, we can prove that the Laplace of e raised to at, that is 1 upon s minus a. See, when the multiple of t is negative, it means it is minus a, then you can write here plus. But the multiple of t is positive, then you can write here minus sign. Okay, so with the help of this formula, if I ask what is the Laplace of e raised to minus 2t, okay, if I ask what is the Laplace of e raised to minus 2t, so this a is constant. So in the place of a, I replace by 2. So what is the answer? Our answer is, anyone? Let me know in the chat box. If I want to write the direct answer, Laplace of e raised to minus 2t, then what is that? Yes, very good. Yes, Hitar, Devendra, absolutely right. Thank you. Yes, Akhilesh, you are also right. So our answer is 1 upon s plus 2. See, here here a is there. So we just replace a by 2. Got it, everyone? So this is the main formula and this is the proof of the formula. And here is the application of the formula. And it is most important because we will apply all formula simultaneously in this lecture, in this topic. Okay. Similarly, you can prove Laplace of e raised to at is equal to 1 upon s minus x. Okay. Same here, positive is sign there. So Laplace of f of t is equal to what, students? Integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st f of t dt, right? So if I apply Laplace of e raised to at, then integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st, in the place of f of t I replace by e raised to at is there. Okay. So e raised to at dt. So base is same. So if I add both the power 0 to infinity e raised to minus st plus at into dt. If I get minus common, minus t common, then integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus, this one is s minus a into t into dt. Got it? So again, if I integrate this integration with respect to t, so what is the answer? E raised to minus s minus a upon minus s minus a into t upon s minus a, and limits are 0 to infinity, right? So if I put infinity upper limit minus lower limit, and after simplification, what is the answer? Our answer is 1 upon s minus a. So Laplace of, if I put Laplace of e raised to at is equal to 1 upon s minus a, right? So what is the Laplace of e raised to tan t? What is the Laplace of e raised to tan t? That is 1 upon s minus tan. Here multiple of t is positive, so we write here minus sign. If I put here minus tan t, then it will convert into the plus sign. Okay, got it? Okay, so let's move. Any doubts, students? Till this formula? Any doubt? Okay, so let's move for the next formula. Till now, we learn about total 3 formulas, students. There are so many formulas. So please repeat every formula, otherwise you will forget. Our first formula is Laplace of 1, that is 1 by s. This one is the first formula. Laplace of 1. The Laplace of 1 is 1 by s. The other is Laplace of e raised to minus at, and that is 1 upon s plus a. Then Laplace of e raised to at, 1 upon s minus a. Now, the next is, our function is sine at. Okay. So, if apply Laplace on both the side, then Laplace of f of t, original formula is this, right? If I replace this f of t in the place of with sine at, so right hand side is again sine at. If you remember the integration formula, e raised to minus, e raised to ax, not minus, e raised to ax sine bx dx. So integration, one term is exponential and other is sine. So what is the formula? E raised to ax upon a square plus b square, a sine bx minus b cos bx, right? We already used this formula in our previous semester for Fourier series. Okay. Okay. Yes, Vansh, very good. You are right. So, this formula we apply for the integration of these e raised to minus st sine at. Here our variable is t. So we put here e raised to minus st, multiple of t. So our a is replaced by minus s and b is replaced by a here. So here minus s square, that is just s square, plus a square. Here minus s sine at minus a cos at. And the limits are 0 to infinity. So if I put my upper limit first, then this is e raised to minus infinity upon s square plus a square, right? And students, e raised to minus infinity is 0. So e raised 0 into whole bracket is 0. So nothing, there is make no difference what is in this bracket, because this e raised to minus infinity is 0. So if I put minus s sine infinity minus a cos infinity, but don't worry about the what is the value of sine infinity and cos infinity, because always e raised to minus infinity is 0. So 0 into anything is 0. Minus, if I put 0, my lower limit, then e raised to minus 0 upon s square plus a square. In the bracket, sine 0. Sine 0 is always 0. So first term is 0. Minus cos 0 is 1, right? So the first term, e raised to minus infinity is 0. So this one is 0. And the here minus minus plus. So this one is 1 into a. So the here is a, right? So here minus minus plus, e raised to minus 0 is 1. So a upon a square plus s square plus a square. So finally, the Laplace of sine at, that is a upon s square plus a square. Got it, everyone? Got it, everyone? Okay. Similarly, we'll prove for cos at. The same thing is there. Laplace of f of t is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st ft dt. So Laplace of cos at is 0 to infinity e raised to minus at cos at dt. And again, the formula of the integration, e raised to ax cos bx dx, that is e raised to ax upon a square plus b square, and in the bracket a cos bx plus b sin bx. Okay, this formula will apply for this example. So e raised to minus is st, here s square plus a square minus s cos at plus a sin at. Again, we apply the upper limit first, and e raised to minus infinity is there. So e raised to minus infinity is 0. So our first term in this case is again 0. Minus, after applying lower limit, e raised to minus 0, that is 1 upon s square plus a square. Here cos 0 is 1. So minus s is there, plus sin 0 is 0. Okay. So after simplification, here first term is 0. E raised to minus 0 is 1. So this minus minus is plus, and our final answer is s upon s square plus a square. So please, everyone, most important formulas are these. So keep in mind, when Laplace of cos, our numerator is s, and Laplace of sine, our numerator is constant term. Our numerator is constant term is there. Okay. So see, suppose if you want to find Laplace of sine 3t. What is this? Laplace of sine 3t. What is constant term? What is the multiple of t? Multiple of t is 3. So here 3 upon s square plus 3 square. 3 square is what? 9. So our answer is 3 upon s square plus 9. Okay. But if you want to find Laplace of cos 3t, then every time if you want to find the Laplace of cos, s is in the numerator. It is fixed. S is in the numerator and in the denominator s square, and 3 square. 3 square is 9. So got it everyone? Any doubt about the Laplace of sin 80 and Laplace of cos 80? If you have no doubt, let me know in the chat box that you have no doubt also. Okay, thank you. Yes, answers are coming there. You have no doubt. So thank you for your kind response. Okay, students. So let's move with one more formula, and that is Laplace of sine hyperbolic 80. See, students, our last formula, that is trigonometric formula, sine 80 and cos 80, and this one is hyperbolic. So both are different. Again, I replace my function of t with sine hyperbolic 80, both the side, right? Now, the formula of sine hyperbolic 80 is e raised to 80 minus e raised to minus 80 by 2. Okay. So, after replacing sine hyperbolic formula into the exponential form, if I skip this bracket, I put this 2 out of the integral. So 1/2 common for both the terms. Then integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st into, see, like this, 1/2 0 to infinity. This is e raised to minus st e raised to 80 dt, right? Minus 0 to infinity e raised to minus st e raised to minus 80 dt. Okay, so first one, if e raised to 80, we already learned this. See this one, e raised to 80. This is e raised to 80. When our function is e raised to 80, our answer is 1 upon s minus a. And for e raised to minus 80, our answer is 1 upon s plus a. Okay, so that is here. See this one. For e raised to minus s minus a, this, if I integrate and put the upper limit and lower limit, my answer will be 1 upon s minus a. By integration and by putting the upper limit and lower limit in the second term, my answer is 1 upon s plus a. If I take LCM, then here s plus a minus s minus 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 plus a upon s square minus a square. So both s will be cancelled, and a plus a, that is 2a. So 2a upon s square minus a square, and this 2 will also cancel, and our final answer is a upon s square minus a square. So this is another formula, students. For Laplace of sine hyperbolic 80, a is in the numerator, means again the constant term is in the numerator and the denominator is s square minus a square. For Laplace of sine 80 is what? What is the difference between hyperbolic and sine? See, numerator is same. Numerator is same, but the denominator is s square plus a square. So for simple trigonometric term, our denominator is s square plus a square. But the hyperbolic term, denominator is s square minus a square. Student, Laplace of sine hyperbolic 80 and a upon s square plus a square. Okay. Now, for the function of t, cos hyperbolic 80. For cos hyperbolic 80, The same formula we apply. Laplace of function of t is equal to 0 to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st ft dt. Now, what is the formula of cos hyperbolic at? Cos hyperbolic at is e raised to at plus e raised to minus at upon 2. What is the difference between the formula of sine hyperbolic and at and cos hyperbolic at? In sine hyperbolic at, here is minus sign between this e raised to at and e raised to minus at. But for the cos hyperbolic at, there is plus sign. Okay. So again, if we split this bracket and apply integration individually in both the term, then integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus s minus at into dt plus this sign is most important. Integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus s plus a into t dt. So after integration here 1 upon s minus a plus 1 upon s plus a. So if I take LCM, that is s plus a minus, this one is plus, so plus s minus a, and the denominator is s square minus a square. Here, this a will be cancelled and s plus s, that is 2s. So 2s upon s square minus a square, and this 2 will cancel. And the formula of Laplace of cos hyperbolic at, that is s upon s square minus a square. Okay. So last formula similar for Laplace of cos hyperbolic at is, suppose if I ask you Laplace of cos hyperbolic 5t, what is the answer? For Laplace of cos hyperbolic 5t, what is the answer, students? As cos is there, either it is in the hyperbolic form or it is in the trigonometric form. Yes, very good. Yes, Unnati, Dev, Ritu, very good. Thank you for your response. When cos is there, our numerator is s, and denominator, hyperbolic function is there. So in the denominator, there is s square minus 25. S square minus 25. Okay, students. So please keep in mind all formula which will help in our further lecture also. This is the one more formula. Here our function is t raised to n, students. So Laplace of t raised to n, main formula is what? Laplace of f of t. Here integration 0 to infinity, right? E raised to minus st f of t dt. Okay. Now, if we replace our function of t by t raised to n, both the side, then integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus t raised to n. We cannot integrate this function directly as t raised to n is there, right? So putting here we apply the assumption. So putting st is equal to x, right? Here s is constant, it is a parameter, student, and t is variable, and we are now going to convert our variable t into the form of x. So we'll take the derivative both the side. So dt is equal to dx by s, right? Here, if I take t equal to 0, if I take my lower limit t equal to 0, so if I put 0, then x is also 0. By putting t equal to 0, x is 0. And by putting t equal to infinity, so here infinity into s, that is infinity. So x is also infinity, right? So limits are the same. If I convert my variable t in the form of x, limits are same. 0 to t is also 0 to infinity, x is again 0 to infinity. So 0 to infinity is there. E raised to, I replace st by x, so e raised to minus x. This t, if I keep this t as a subject, then t is equal to what? X by s. So this is x by s. See, in the place of this t is equal to x by s. So t is converted into the form of x by s whole raised to n. And this dt is dx by s. Got it, everyone? If anyone have any doubt, let me know. Okay. If you have any doubt, let me know in the chat box. Okay, no doubt. Thank you. So we'll continue. Okay. Here, in the denominator, power of s is what? S raised to n. And this one is s. So s raised to n plus s. So s raised to n plus 1. Here 1 upon s raised to n into 1 upon s. So total power s raised to n plus 1. And our variable is x. So and this is the parameter. This is a constant term. So I put this s raised to n plus 1 out of the integral. And in the integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus x raised to n dx. Okay, this one. So students, now this is the formula of gamma n plus 1. This is not root. Please keep in mind, everyone. This is gamma. This is the formula of gamma. You have to memorize this formula. Integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x raised to n dx. This is gamma n plus 1. And this one is s raised to n plus 1. Here condition is this s is greater than 0. And this n plus 1 is again greater than 0. If n is any positive integer, we'll put this gamma into the factorial form, and gamma n plus 1 is equal to n factorial. So we have total 2 formula, students, for Laplace of t raised to n. One formula is gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1. Another formula is n factorial upon s raised to n plus 1. We have to apply both formula in example when we do the example. When suppose our Laplace of t cube. Okay. So this n is positive integer, right? So we put it in the factorial form, and that is 3 factorial upon s raised to, what is our n? Our n is 3. So 3 plus 1. Right? So our answer is 3 factorial is 6 upon s raised to 4. Okay. But my Laplace is t here if I have 3 by 2. This is fraction form. If my n is in the fraction form, at that time I have to apply this gamma formula, and that is gamma 3 by 2 plus 1 upon s raised to 3 by 2 plus 1. And this gamma n plus 1 is, see, for gamma n plus 1, there is one other formula, n gamma n. So we put this n as 3 by 2. So this is 3 by 2 gamma 3 by 2, and in the denominator s raised to 5 by 2. We'll continue this gamma 3 by 2 as 1/2 plus 1, and I will tell you when we will do the example. We'll put this gamma 3 by 2 as gamma 1/2 plus 1, and then we again write it is as 3 by 2 1/2 gamma 1/2 and upon s raised to 5 by 2, and this gamma 1/2 is root pi. So we'll do in this type of examples when we'll do the application of this formula. But now you have to remember the proof of this Laplace of t raised to n and this formula. So any doubts, students, about this formula? Let me know. Okay, so let's move with, see, to these are the whole formula. Okay, and you have to remember all the formula. These are the example which you have to solve with the help of definition only. when you will ask this type of example, this is a discontinuous function. See, what is the example on Laplace transform? And you have to solve with the help of definitions. So find the Laplace transform function of t equal to 0, where your t is lies between 0 to 3. And where t is greater than or equal to 3 means 3 to infinity, your function is 4. How to find a Laplace transform of this function? Again, we apply the same formula. Laplace of f of t is equal to integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus st ft dt, right? See, this is the continuous function 0 to infinity, but we have piecewise continuous for 0 to 3. If our integral is 0 to 3, our function is 0. And for t greater than or equal to 3 means 3 to infinity. For our integral 3 to infinity, our function is 4. Okay. So our first term is 0. 0 into anything is 0. The first term is 0. And for the second term, integration of e raised to minus st is e raised to minus st upon minus s. 4 is constant and upper limit is infinity and lower limit is 3. So after applying upper limit and lower limit and after simplification, our answer is 4 by s e raised to minus 3s. Got it, everyone? So if you have given any discontinuous function and you ask for the find Laplace transform, you have to apply this formula. Any doubt? Okay. Let's move with one more example, and that is if your function is, okay, so if your function is equal to 0 for t lies between 0 to pi, and for t greater than or equal to pi, your function is sine t. Then if we, so previous slide, okay, this one. Okay, and we'll upload this slide on YouTube also. Okay, so you may show at that time. See here for the second example, here our for integral 0 to pi, our function is 0. So 0 to pi e raised to minus st, at that time function is 0. And for t greater than or equal to pi means pi to infinity. So for integral pi to infinity, function is sine t, right? So here first term is 0. For the second term, again we apply that formula e raised to ax sine tx. Got it? So e raised to minus st upon this minus s square, and here the multiple of t is 1. So minus s square is just s square plus 1 minus s sine t minus 1 cos t. No need to write 1. So here only cos t. By applying the upper limit and lower limit, this is the answer. Here e raised to minus pi s upon s square plus 1. For e raised to minus infinity, students, this is 0. For upper limit 0. And for lower limit, we have to replace t by pi. So here minus e raised to minus pi s. This is e raised to minus pi s. Then s square plus 1 minus s. In the place of sine t, we replace sine pi, right? And this one is cos pi, right? Sine pi is 0, cos pi is minus 1, minus minus plus. So plus 1 is there, and our final answer is minus e raised to minus pi s upon s square plus 1. Now one more example. Find the Laplace transform of 1 upon root t. Here we replace our function of t with 1 upon root t. So Laplace of 1 upon root t. Here 1 upon root t, so we put t raised to minus 1/2. Again, we cannot direct solve this integral e raised to minus st and t raised to minus 1/2. So we assume st is equal to x, dt is equal to dx by x. When we put t equal to 0, x is 0, t tends to infinity, x tends to infinity. So limits are the same. So by converting our variable t into the x form, so Laplace of f of t is 0 to infinity, e raised to minus x upon s whole raised to minus 1/2, and this is dx by s. This is s raised to minus 1/2 into 1 by s. Here 1 upon s raised to minus 1/2 into 1 by s. So s raised to minus 1/2 plus 1. So that is s raised to 1/2. So after simplification, the power of s is 1/2 in the denominator. So it will write as root s. Here integration 0 to infinity e raised to minus x raised to minus 1/2 dx, right? So I represent and I rewrite this x raised to minus 1/2 as x raised to 1/2 minus 1. Both are same, students. If I write x raised to minus 1/2 or x raised to 1/2 minus 1. Both are same, right? So I just represent this x raised to minus 1/2 as x raised to minus 1/2, x raised to 1/2 minus 1, and this is the formula of gamma n. See, this formula I applied. This one. Integration 0 to infinity, e raised to, compare both one, e raised to minus x raised to n minus 1 dx. Here our n is 1/2. So this is gamma 1/2. Okay. And gamma 1/2 is root pi, students. Gamma 1/2 is root pi. So this is the root pi upon root s. So we may write square root of pi by s. Okay. This is the one most important example. So any doubt about this example? Anyone? Let me know. Okay. So in today's lecture, we learn about the proof of the formula and some Laplace transform of some discontinuous function. Our first Laplace of 1 is 1 by s. Laplace of e raised to at is 1 upon s minus a. Laplace of e raised to minus at, that is 1 upon s plus a. Laplace of sine at, students. What is the Laplace of sine at? When sine is there, constant term is in the numerator. A upon s square plus a square is there. What is the Laplace of cos at? Laplace of cos at is s upon s square plus a square. What is the Laplace of t raised to n, student? Laplace of t raised to n is gamma n plus 1 upon s raised to n plus 1 or n factorial upon s raised to n plus 1. Okay. Next, Laplace of sine hyperbolic at. Sine hyperbolic at is a upon s square minus a square. And Laplace of cos hyperbolic at, that is s upon s square minus a square. You may solve our next session's example very well if you remember all formula. Otherwise, you may not solve any example. Okay. So if you have any query regarding today's session, you may ask, or otherwise you may leave our lecture. So there is no doubt. So thank you, students, for your kind support. We'll meet tomorrow.